Hello, this is wmpyr. This is my video response to why Wing Chun doesn't work. There's a ton of videos on YouTube about this very subject, and the one video that I was watching in particular, the guy seemed to have maybe some solid Wing Chun background, and he seemed to overall really like Wing Chun. That being said though, he started training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and once he did that, he felt that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was a lot more practical, a lot more effective. And he still, believed in Wing Chun, but he just felt like in order for it to work, it would take a long time, all right? And so now this is pretty much where my response begins. And what do I think about that? I used to feel that way about traditional martial arts like Aikido, Wing Chun, Kuk Soo Wan, or whatever. I kind of felt like in order for it to actually work in a real life situation, that it just takes a long time to do that. I disagree with that now. I don't feel that way anymore. I pretty much feel like the main goal for traditional martial arts, you have to understand this, and I might get a lot of heat for this perspective, but let's get real and just take a look at what traditional martial arts is. It's a passing of information from one generation to the next. That's what it is. You're passing down information, okay? You're passing down knowledge, all right? So when you do that from one person to the next, you create a lineage, and that's what traditional martial arts is. They're trying to preserve that knowledge and to just keep going and create this, this lineage along the way. That is their goal, all right? It's like a librarian that I said before. They have this awesome knowledge and they're keeping it and they're, taking care of it. That's to me what it is, okay? That's different from applied knowledge, okay? So knowledge is not the same as applied knowledge. To me, there's a big difference there, okay? So when you're doing that, when you have a lineage and you're passing it down from one generation to the next, within a certain generation, there's always going to be a group of people that are going to be like, I'm going to represent my style and I'm going to go fight other people. There's going to be people like that. What those guys are working on is not the preservation of knowledge from one to the next. They're working on applied knowledge. They're going, how can I make it work for me when I go fight this dude from another kung fu style or this guy from boxing or whatever, They're working on applied knowledge by doing that, by going out and fighting and testing it out. You know what I mean? So that's going to happen, but notice the difference between the two, okay? And it really doesn't matter if it's combat sports like judo, MMA, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, boxing, Muay Thai. It doesn't matter because there you also have to do the passing of one knowledge to the next, because if not, that means you're going to go into a kickboxing ring with your own made-up style. Good luck with that, No, what happens is you go train in kickboxing, which means you have to learn it. You have to learn kickboxing. So the knowledge has to be passed down from somebody else to you, okay? So that doesn't change whether it's combat sports or traditional martial arts. You still need to learn, you still need to study, you still need to get knowledge. And the way you do that is the instructor demonstrates the technique or the coach shows the technique, and then now you mimic it, you memorize it, you mimic it, and then you do a bunch of drills to try to get it down in muscle memory, okay? But that's just knowledge, okay? That's like in high school or college, you're taking a math class, the professor writes down a formula, and then you memorize the formula, and now you have a bunch of problems where you have to solve the problems using that very formula, okay? And you get repetitions. That's just knowledge, all right? Now, if you look at combat sports, though, this is where it's different from traditional martial arts, and this is where traditional martial arts is lacking, is the sparring part. They lack a lot of times on the sparring part, because when you look at a combat sports like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, first half of the class, let's say, is the instructor demonstrates the technique for today. And then you guys practice it, you guys do some drills, and then the next part is the sparring. The sparring is where you're going Okay, I learned this technique from a couple of months ago. How can I make it work against this guy in class? This dude is my nemesis. How can I make it work against this guy who's super fast and agile? How can I make it work against this guy that's very, very big and strong? How can I make it work against the purple belt? You're working on those things, and that is applied knowledge, the application of knowledge, and that's different from just knowledge, you know. So that to me is the big difference. And once again, with combat sports, it doesn't matter if your teacher is Hoist Gracie, okay, and Hoist Gracie could tap out a 500-pound sumo wrestler. Just because he shows you the technique doesn't mean that you can do that, you know. Rickson Gracie's your teacher. It doesn't mean that, you know, you're going to be able to fight like Rickson Gracie. No way. There's a lot of other factors. The guy is, you know, amazingly strong. The guy has incredible instincts. The guy has unbelievable experiences that he went through defending the family's name and honor, going up against Zulu when no one else wanted to fight the guy. You know, things like that. That's what makes Rickson who he is today. You just mimicking the same technique that he practiced alone isn't going to turn you into Rickson Gracie. You know what I mean? So that is just knowledge alone. Now it's up to you to go train and figure out how to make that knowledge that you learned from Hoist Gracie, Rickson Gracie, Chuck Norris, Bruce Lee, whomever, you know, and make it into a knowledge that you can now actually apply, and you could start, you know, making your own experiences and build upon that. You know what I mean? Those guys did their work. They went through the proving grounds and they did that. You have the knowledge. If those guys were your teachers, you guys have the knowledge passed down from them. But once again, the application is a totally different thing. Okay, so, you know, just please understand that I'm not saying that traditional martial arts is bad. No way. Or I'm not saying that Wing Chun is bad. I'm just saying that what they're doing is just strictly knowledge. Okay, and in order for you to now, you know, go compete in MMA or go use it in a street fight, now you got to work on application of knowledge. And sadly, for a lot of traditional martial arts schools, that's missing. People don't know how to do it, but it's like you got to start a club and you got to get a bunch of like-minded people, and then you got to start doing, you know, stuff to where you are working on it for applied knowledge. You know what I mean? So I think that is the main difference right there. Okay, so anyway, that's it for now. Thank you for watching, and take care, folks.